Hey everybody, it's Lou, your Gearhead Gourmet, and we're going to shift our recipes into high gear today because maybe you have a special occasion coming up. Maybe you want to prepare surf and turf. Well, we can do this. We're going to try to do it with one pan as well, and if we time it out right, it should come out just about right. So let's start with the turf part first. We have some fillets here that we've had marinating in some Worcestershire, maybe some dried onion. We do have some sea salt and, of course, some pepper. We put it in a bowl. Let it get to room temperature. Let the meat get to room temperature. That will help it cook a little bit easier. So we are going to move this out of the way, and we're going to head over to the oven where we have the broiler on. It's been going for about 10-15 minutes. Make sure it's good and hot, and get the pan that we're going to use. Bring it out. And it has a rack here. So we're going to take this and we're going to take the meat and we're going to place the meat on the rack. Now we're going to position it so, oh, you can hear it sizzling too. We are going to position it so when this is about halfway done, what we're going to do is we're going to put the lobster tails right here. So let's get this out of the way. And we'll get this back into the broiler. Again, it's about 500 degrees now. Your broiler might say 550, but check it, okay? Always check it to see what it is. Now, these are going to go in for about 7 or 8 minutes, so we're going to start the timer here so we don't mess it up, okay? Now it's time for the surf part of surf and turf. We'll move these out of the way and show you how to prepare the lobster tail. It's not as bad as you might think. Now, always use the right tools. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your lobster tail, and you're going to flip it over, you're going to cut the shell, and just take your scissors or your shears, and you're going to cut right smack down the middle here until you get to the tail portion, and then you stop, okay? Then you're going to take it sideways, you're going to clip it on the side, and then go over to this way over here, and you're going to clip it on this side as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to open this up. Now the meat is going to separate from the shell, and you need to take your fingers and separate it from the shell. You're going to do the same thing on the bottom part of the lobster tail as well. It just takes a couple of minutes, and once you get the hang of it, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to try to keep everything intact because the whole idea here is you're going to take the meat here and you're going to lift it so it comes out of the shell and then rests on top of the shell. This is what it looks like underneath, like this. You're going to close the shell back up and then lay the lobster tail on the back. And as you can see, when we cut it, it actually butterflied it at the same time. So that's how you do that one. So you have one that's done. We'll do a second one here just to show you how we're doing it again. Again, take the shears right down the middle, go all the way back till you get to the tail, and you don't go all the way through. Now you take it sideways again, you clip it, so you can pull the shell back and take your fingers and separate the meat again from here. Now we're keeping an eye on the broiler over there with the steaks that are inside. Again, it's about 500 degrees on there. The broiler said 550. We checked the actual temperature was 500. So we're keeping an eye there. We have it set for 7 minutes to make sure we don't overcook it, and it's cooking rather well there. Take the meat from your lobster tail, and you have it out just like this. So there you have it. We had these rinsed prior, so they're nice and clean. So the lobster is ready to go, and just a couple of minutes, we're going to take it, and the lobster will join the steaks under the broiler. All right, everybody, it's about time for the lobster to join the steaks under the broiler, so we're going to move them out of the way, and we're going to go over and we are going to grab the steaks. Boy, they are looking good here. Now, at the same time, what we're going to do with the steaks is we are going to flip them over. And we're going to always have a thermometer with you, too, to make sure they're not getting overdone. Right now, they're about 85 degrees, so we'll flip that over. And this one here is about the same here. We'll flip that over. These are getting done a little quicker than we thought they were, so we're going to keep an eye on those. Now, we're going to take the lobster tails, and we're going to set the lobster tails right here, and we're only going to keep it on there for about 4 minutes or so. So we're going to set the timer too. So we're going to put this back inside the oven under the broiler and then set the timer up here for 4 minutes and let that go. And we'll see how they look in 4. Waiting for the timer to go off, and it should go off right about now. So we'll go over and turn our timer off, and we'll grab our lobster tail out of here. It's turning white. Oh boy, does that look awesome. Now there's one more quick step. Look at that. You can see it just turning white on the outside. It's still a little bit tender on the inside. Now we took some butter and some parsley and some garlic powder. And the reason we use garlic powder as opposed to fresh garlic or maybe garlic in a jar is that garlic in a jar or fresh garlic has a tendency to burn when you're doing something like this. But the garlic powder, get a good quality garlic powder too and do that. So we'll have that here. We'll put a little on the steaks as well. And at the same time, while you're doing that, you want to make sure you check the temperature of the steaks because sometimes they get done a lot quicker than you would imagine. So right now, we'll take the temperature here. It is at 126 for the temperature on that steak. This steak over here is about 145. Okay, so this is probably, we want to take this one off. So this one we're going to take off, and we're going to put it on aluminum foil, and we're going to close this one up because we do not want to overcook that because I like my steaks about medium. This one will only cook a little longer. Now, this is going to go back under the broiler again for about another 3 or 4 minutes to see how this is doing. We'll probably check it after a couple to see how the steak is doing. All right, everybody, 3 minutes is just about up. Waiting for the timer to go off. There it is. We'll stop it and take a look at this. Oh my goodness. Did this come out awesome or what? Take a look at the goldenness of the lobster. It is done. It's firm. It is great. The steak looks like it. Oh, this is just the way Kathy likes it. Again, mine I took off a little bit earlier because mine was already done here. So we'll put that one back on here to make it look all nice and pretty. But there you have it, surf and turf. It is not that scary. You might want to try it at home and do something special for the ones that you love. The Gearhead Gourmet. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you next time. Oh, this is looking good.